How's it going, boys and girls? Data here, and welcome back to the Minnesota Wild franchise mode, episode 20 here at the year number 5 playoffs. 2025 is the year. Here in the future, Minnesota Wild coming off of a 49, 26, and 7 regular season. It was another solid year for us, and in our first round matchup against the Chicago Blackhawks, it is not going to be an easy one. But to recap last episode, the second half of the regular season, which was pretty strong, it saw one really big trade as we went out and got Klim Kostin. Whoa. Oh, Klim Kostin. Thank you, Chris, for letting me know. Favorite prospect, but driving me crazy that I wasn't getting right. It's Klim Kostin. Welcome to the team. We picked him up from the St. Louis Blues. Nice power forward that fit the chemistry. And then looking at his attributes here, Old Man Sports, Kostin's 45 aggressiveness and 90 checking must mean that he throws one hit a season, but it's Scott Stevens worthy. So look at that. Physical, 4.5 stars, but 45 aggressive. Don't know how. Either way, great puck skills, great shooting, and he was a nice acquisition for us. Only a third line forward, so not expecting the whole world from him, but he was averaging a point every other game with 8 goals, 6 assists, and 14 points in 29 games. A +7, 3 power play points whenever he filled in when needed when there was injury. And you know what? That's pretty much all we can ask. Plus, he gives a +3 to Kovanov and Fiala. It's not the ideal lineup here, but moving into a very difficult playoff matchup, having +3s throughout the top 9 will be nice. We won't be afraid to move things around as needed. Fiala into the top 6, Wheeler into the bottom 6, whatever we gotta do. Concerning other roster moves we may make, the defense, pretty much everyone is quite interchangeable. Like Mika Tarki could go here, could go here. Well, obviously, Butter can go on the bottom pair, but he can move around a lot. Suter could go down here, up here. Pesci can go up here, up there. So it's nice to have that interchangeability possible. Brett Pesci has great line fits. And that was pretty much the main suggestion that we found in the comments section. Dean saying he would put in Pesci over Suter. Other than that, lineup stays the same. If the team is struggling for offense in the slow sim, Fiala back to the second line, Kostin back into the top 6. Hellebuck, we're not going to be afraid to pull him out of the crease if needed. Interested to see how the playoffs go. Let's go Wild. Thank you very much, Dean. So, yeah, Connor Hellebuck, good season, but very, very questionable and suspect performance whenever it came to going into the slow sim, which is what the playoffs is, right? He played 72 games, or had 72 appearances in his first year off of Winnipeg, went 43, 22, and 6. Beautiful numbers, great shutouts. But when we went in, he was a train wreck. So it seems like the evidence is anecdotal, but he may not be the guy for a playoff run. Not sure. We won't be afraid to turn to Ben Bishop if needed, coming off the Vezina Trophy last season into a backup role this year. Again, not great numbers, but he does have the 90 poise that could come in handy. Apo also agrees that Pesci should be playing over Suter. No other big changes, maybe Kovanov over Lambert. Yes, Hellebuck can have a pretty solid playoffs, and hopefully he will, but there's been many times where that's not the case. So not a lot of faith in Bishop either, as the age is becoming a factor. In the AHL, you could bring up Giroux. Maybe he could replace Kopitar if he isn't doing well. Excited for the upcoming playoffs, and hopefully the EA gods are on our side. So it's a true point about the AHL for sure. They've been tearing it up. So if we needed to call up someone, Damien Giroux wouldn't be the craziest option. Even Martin Kaut or Maxime Comtois or even Will Bitten. So there's a lot of options that we could go with. Emil Bemstrom, Alex Volkov. On defense, Skylar Ellington, who has grown from a 72 to an 80 over the course of the season with that +5 on chemistry. So we do have options, but it's a very poised bottom 6 for sure with Parise, well, fourth line, Parise, Kopitar, and Kessel. Then you have Wheeler. So a lot of these guys, maybe definitely on their last season with us, possibly in their last season in the NHL. Zach Parise at the age of 40, Ryan Suter at the age of 40. It is one last dance for them. We got them a Stanley Cup back in year number 1, and we're going for one more to send them off into the sunset. I do believe that we'll try that change for the beginning of the season. Hoot Hoot Boy did leave a comment saying that he wouldn't touch the lines at the start, but if things aren't working, then changing it wouldn't be a bad idea. And in theory, I do agree with that, but Suter to start the season, he was an 80-81 overall, right? But now that he's dropped in potential and overall, maybe managing his ice time would be the better idea to play him with Tarky. But again, things change very quickly. It's all very fluid. Just because something happens in game 1, it's not going to be happening for the entire series necessarily. Aside from that, I think the lines are pretty much ready to go. Kaprizov, Kaprizov, Rossi, Greenway, Wheeler, Lambert, Boldy, Fiala, Kovanov, Kostin, Kessel, Kopitar, and Parise. Kopitar 37, Kessel 37. We're ready to rock and roll. Now, the lineup of the Chicago Blackhawks, to quickly touch upon them before we get into the simulation. As you're probably seeing right now, it's a long simulation, a long video, but if you're not already aware, what we do here on the channel is that for the playoffs, it is about an hour, give or take however many minutes, so as to keep any spoilers from happening. Like, obviously, if you saw it was a 25-minute video, you knew things weren't going to go well, but even if we get swept by this very strong Chicago team, and the video's over in 20 minutes, it'll be a black screen for 40, 45, whatever minutes to keep any spoilers from happening. So you will be enjoying and going on this roller coaster along with me. Atu Ratti on the top line with Evgeny Malkin and Alexander Nylander. Malkin, don't be fooled by that 83 overall. He simulates still like a 90 plus. He got 80 points this season with 47 goals. Yeah. Second line, probably the strongest second line in the league and the strongest top six in the league, as Patrick Kane is out here, who also simulates like a 90 plus no matter what. Dylan Strome, Alex DeBrincat. Wow. Third line, Coyle, Gambrell, and Kirby Dach. Sheesh. And then the fourth line, we definitely get them on the fourth line. As Andrew was mentioning here in his comment, he said that Chicago has their elite top nine, so we definitely want to maximize our chemistry in our top nine, level the playing field, but our fourth line beats their fourth line, especially that they're all Grizzly vets. Right now, the veteran presence could be something that helps us, and hopefully the veteran poises can get it done. Andrew was also questioning the Pesce move, just to quickly touch upon that again, because we want to look at line fit, and if his fit was stronger for the third line, then maybe we'd want to keep him on the third line, but his fit for the second line, the second pair, is just as good, so that's why I'm not as afraid to make that change. The Costin pickup was mint, seems to be the perfect fit for the third line. Will be an uphill fight in round one, as we're seeing in this roster, but the data crew is here to cheer you on. Go wild. Thank you, Andrew, and I hope you're all cheering hard in the comments as you're watching in front of your screens. Put your feet up and enjoy. It's going to be a good one. Over on defense, Boquist and Klingberg, strong first pair. Gustafsson and Myers. Don't be fooled by Tyler Myers, 76 overall, 35 years of age, because somehow he still scored 19 points and was a plus 28. So like I said, not a lot of weight going into overall when he seems to be playing a lot more than that overall shows. And just Klingberg, to show you Klingberg and Boquist's stats, 41-point season from John Klingberg, and Adam Boquist at the age of 24 put up 49 points. Between the pipes, it is Jordan Binnington, who tried to pick a fight with everyone on San Jose the other night. He's an 86 overall with 91 poise. He is one of the best playoff performing goaltenders in the game. He's coming off a very strong season as well, going 42, 18, and 5. 7 shutouts, 918 save percentage, 2.41 goals against average. Backed up by Anton Forsberg. Some decent depth here. And we are ready to go. It is one last dance in Minnesota. Year number 1, Stanley Cup. Years number 2, 3, and 4, a mix of first and second round heartbreaks. We lost in 6 last season to the Edmonton Oilers in year number 4 in the second round. And now we want to make up for it here against a big division rival. They have home ice advantage at the United Center. Game 1, round 1. Let's kick it off and let's see who's ready to show up and put on a show. First period, 1-0, Kirill Kaprizov. And I know it's Kaprizov, but I just can't stop. If this guy can just keep scoring as he did in our Stanley Cup, well, he does pretty much every playoffs, then that would be a huge boost if we can keep him consistent. Second period, no scoring. Third period, we're being outshot 22, and there he is. There's Tyler Myers. There he is. 76 overall. Game's tied at 1. Power play Minnesota, and Kevin Fiala scores just as the extra man advantage expires. Halfway through the third period, we are up by 1. We've come back in the shot category as we are now tied 26-26. 4 minutes to go. Late power play for the Hawks. Killed off, and the Minnesota Wild take it. Game 1, 2-1 the final. Who's taking these late penalties? Marco Rossi tripping in the neutral zone. Oh, sorry, no, in our corner. Oh boy, but we take a 2-1 thanks to the game-winning goal down on that third line, the +3 from Kevin Fiala, 27 save performance from Connor Hellebuyck. So you know what, starting off well. Not going to commit to him for the rest of the playoffs just yet, but playing very well. And oh goodness, Brett Pesce injured with an abdominal strain. Return April 19th. What day is it today? I couldn't tell. I'm trying to look through the screen. April 11th, I think. So he won't be out for long, but that is definitely unfortunate. Cody Ceci is going to come in. He's going to see his first playoff action in how long? Cody Cece's been a good trooper for us in Iowa and on the Minnesota Wild for the one game he played. He hasn't played in the NHL playoffs since 2019-20 in 5 games with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Had a little run in Ottawa in 2017. Since then, he's just been in the AHL. So, Cody Cece, lace up the skates. You're going to go... we'll go Suter. And we'll go Suter on the third pair, Tarky on the second pair. There we go. That'll be how we roll. With Brett Pesce out of the lineup, unfortunately. Big piece that we'll have to replace here. I don't think I want to put Cece on the penalty kill, unfortunately. I'm sorry. As Tarky can fill in there. And there we go. All right. Better than nothing. So he won't be out for long. I probably won't bring him back until he's fully healed because I don't want to risk re-injuring, but a 2-1 victory. Goals from Kaprizov and Fiala. Game number 2, still on the road. Let's steal another one before we head back to our home arena. Here we go. First period, 0-0. Second period, 1-0. Marco Rossi. Shots tied at 18, heading into the third. This is a tight series. Both goaltenders are standing strong at the moment and making their case for why they should be here. Halfway through oh my goodness, Kirill Kaprizov, second of the series, right, getting in the dirty areas, right there in the crease. But Aturati on the power play, another power play. This one's killed off as they had back-to-back power plays, converting one of them, and then Matthew Boldy, who led the team in goals this season, scores to put us up by 2, and that'll be all she wrote. A 3-1 victory in game number 2. Connor Hellebuyck, he's heard the haters and he's shutting them down. 28 saves from him, 2 assists from Mikhail Sergachev, who also heard the haters a couple episodes ago. We were questioning his worth for his trade value, that we might think about moving him in the near future, and he wants to also get that Stanley Cup ring. He wasn't here for year number 1. 3-1 victory, and just like that, we're up 2-0 in the series. AHL regular season is over. We had a crazy regular season in the AHL. 57, 11, and 8. My goodness, that's a good one. Matthew Boldy, he needs to really show up as well. He scored, 56 goals in the regular season? That was just, he was a man on a mission. So we are back at home now for game number 3 after stealing 2 on the road. The Hawks were 5-5-0 heading into the playoffs. We were 5-2-3, so maybe a little hotter-ish. Kind of. Hopefully we'll use that to our advantage. Game number 3, first one at home of the season, of the postseason. First period, 1-0. Kevin Fiala on the power play. Second period remains 1-0. Shots 19-18 in our favor. Very even game. Power play goal from Charlie Coyle to start off the period, and we are tied at 1. This is such an even matchup. And then a quick power play killed off. Power play going to the Hawks. Power play back to us on the Wild. Those are all killed up. 3 consecutive power plays going back and forth. 2 for us, 1 for them. Another power play for us late in the third period. No heroics late. And we... whoa, there are the late heroics, but not for us. Dylan Strome with 4 seconds left. And we lose 2-1 in game 3. Look at that. Dylan Strome with 4 seconds left. After we just had a power play, we thought we were going to overtime. 27 saves from Hellebuyck, but the game-winning goal from Dylan Strome, a dagger right through the heart of all the Wild fans who were ready for overtime. They were putting an extra couple minutes in the meter for overtime. They were buying an extra hot dog or 2, and then Dylan Strome just, ends everyone's hopes. But nonetheless, it is a 2-1 series lead, and we can still put ourselves in a commanding position with a 3-1 series lead should we win game number 4 here at home. First period, 2-0. Beautiful. We're just flying through these games. No changes to make. Mika Tarky and Matthew Boldy. 2 goals on 6 shots. Pretty rare to get those past Binnington. And 13 saves for Hellebuyck. Second period now, 4-2, 2 goals apiece. Tepley scores, then Krug for us, Strome for them, and then Klim Kostin, his first goal with first playoff goal as a Minnesota Wild. 4-2 Minnesota. Shots 21-14 for the Hawks, and Kirby Dach quickly makes a 1-goal lead. Ben Bishop's in nets, by the way. I just realized that. Was he always in nets? He's been in nets the whole game, or at least since the second period. That's not good. Power play for us. 5-on-3, extended back to a 2-goal lead. There it is. Jordan Greenway on one of the best contracts in the NHL. And then Mika Tarky makes it 6-3 with his second of the night. Greenway making like under 2.5. What a guy. 6-3 victory, and we're back in command. 3-1 series lead. A huge, huge performance. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to Hellebuyck, but Ben Bishop at least played 2 periods. Mika Tarky, 2 goals from him on the third. No, actually, he's on the second pair D. 3 assists from Brad Lambert, who's really being put into a big role this playoffs, and a goal and an assist from Matthew Boldy. 6 3 the final. So no injury to Connor Hellebuyck, thankfully, and we will hang on to the victory. Well, we already had the victory, but hanging on to it without any asterisks next to it. I just want to make a note here. Brad Lambert, I just want to quickly say, it's going kind of against myself to be placing Brad Lambert as an 81 overall on the second line when he's listed as a fourth line forward. But with that 90 offensive awareness and with the +3 chemistry and Boldy scoring left and right, Wheeler doing well, I think that Brad Lambert is going to grow like an animal this offseason. I would not be surprised at that. Even though this isn't always the best thing to do, playing a prospect over his head, I think he's going to be like an 84, 85 to start next season. So, and that 3-assist performance just goes to show how much he's killing it right now. Game number 5, we are back in Chicago at the United Center to close it out 4-1. Let's just get it over with. We thought it was going to be tough, and you know what? It still is tough, but it's more tough because of Binnington and not because of the scoring. Hellebuyck has stood strong. We haven't seen any scoring from Kane or Malkin and Broquist. I know they'll all get hat tricks tonight, but let's see if we can keep them at bay. First period, 1-1. Matthew Boldy and Patrick Kane. Of course, he heard the call. He was listening to the radio before the game, and he scored one. Second period, 2-1. Janmark puts the Hawks up. So we are out shooting Chicago 24-20, but down by 1. First time we're down heading into the third period, I think. We've always been up or tied, as we'll need a goal and fast to tie this thing up. I'm looking at Torrey Krug. I'm looking at Klim Kostin. I'm looking at Blake Wheeler and maybe some fourth line guys, but no one's coming through except for Kirill Kaprizov. Forget the bottom guys. Top line comes through. 2-2. Will we see? No, again, no! Again, I thought we were finally going to see overtime. From almost the same position on the ice as Strome scored his goal. Oh, with 7 seconds left, another game lost to the final 10 seconds of regulation. We outshot Chicago 37-28, and we lose 3-2. Oh, man, another backbreaker. 35 saves from Binnington, a big night from him. Ugh, you absolutely are just disgusted to see that. You don't hate to see that. You're disgusted to see that. But Brett Pesce is fully healed and ready to go for game number 6. So how has Cody Ceci done? He, in 4 games, is an even plus-minus. No complaints. But unfortunately, Cody Ceci, I'm going to have to put Brett Pesce back in the lineup if you don't mind. And you know what? Sergachev and Tarky, they're playing well together, so I'm not going to touch them. I know it's defensive and defensive defensemen, but they get a 0 on the chemistry. There's no harm. No harm, no foul. So I think I'll keep them out there. The first pair hasn't been great. Torrey Krug's playing 27 minutes a night. So I think we'll just keep that. Penalty kill. I'd rather put Pesce over Tarky, as Tarky has 88, 86, 85 on the defensive attributes. 88, 86, 85. Pesce is 88, 87, 87. So every little bit counts. All right, so a tough backbreaker. Both of our losses have come with under 10 seconds left. We're better than this team. We've shown ourselves to be better. We're playing harder. We have more passion. Let's finish it off here. At home, Game 6. Do not let this go to 7. We've seen too many Game 7s in the last few years here in Minnesota. Let's finish it off and hit the second round. First period, 2-0. Boldy on the power play, and then Kevin Fiala. Let's go. 2-0. And then Blake Wheeler, his first playoff goal as a Minnesota Wild, comes 52 seconds into Game 6. Into the second period of Game 6. Ratty right back, though. Second period ends 4-1 as Kaprizov gets another. 4-1, outshooting them. We're being outshot 20-15, but we're up by 3, headed into the final 20 minutes. The Hawks are going to be coming out hard if they want to make it to Game 7. We killed off their power play, and with just about 10 minutes to go, we maintain that 3-goal lead. May have to hop in here. So I want to go get a thumbnail, because you've already seen the thumbnail of this one, and I think we might have to go into it late. You know what? Let's go see it. That actually gives us a little reason to now. Only up by 2 with 1:35 to go as Ratty scores his second of the night. Here in Minnesota, we are up by 2 with 1:42 to go. If we can just hang on tight to the 2-goal lead, we are off to the second round. But, Brad Lambert. But if Chicago comes back, we may be seeing overtime / Game 7 in the corner. It's Brad Lambert poked away. Charlie Coyle skates back into his own zone. Skates across the entire ice there and then gives it away to Boldy. Thank you. Brad Lambert back to Botter. Boldy over to Wheeler. Can't get it on net. Lambert in front. Big save. Binnington. Wheeler scores. Blake Wheeler puts it away. Thank you, Charlie Coyle, for that giveaway in your own zone. Blake Wheeler, second of the night, second of the playoffs. And we are through. The icing on the cake. 5-2 is the score. Tough goal from Bennington to let through. That's a bad angle to let in. And we are going through to the second round after a Game 6 victory. Let's just get closer to the end of this one. Nice beard from Blake. Let's go. Kaprizov with the A on his sweater. Over to Greenway. Final seconds. They want more? Oof. Still pouring it on. 2-1. And in front of the fans at home, the Minnesota Wild are through to the second round after taking down the Chicago Blackhawks in 6 games. Absolutely wonderful. We don't usually come into the action, so we'll get to see some handshakes here. Captain Ryan Suter, he's still able to move those legs. Patty Kane, we took that man. We limited Kane, we limited Malkin, we limited the king himself, Tyler Myers, the captain, Suter and Kane, 2 American heroes. Evgeny Malkin. Despite the shots being 32-29, we take the 5-2 victory. Matthew Boldy, 3rd star of the game. 2nd star goes to Connor Hellebuck with a .938 save percentage. And 1st star goes to Blake Wheeler with 2 goals and 1 assist. So after that first round, Matthew Boldy, 6 points in 6 games with those 4 goals. Coming off an 83-point season, he just kept it going. And as well, Wheeler and Lambert, also a point per game. 6 assists in 6 games for Brad Lambert. Kaprizov, 4 goals, no assists, so he really came through in the goals as well. Fiala killing it with 5 points. Sergachev, 5 assists. Everyone coming through. Tarky +7. That Tarky-Sergachev combo, definitely a pairing for next season potentially. Kostin 2 points. Rossi only 2 points, but hey, whatever. Plus 10 penalty minutes. Really? With the 98 discipline? He was furious. Kessel 1 assist and no points for Parise or Kopitar with both -3s. That's a bit concerning. But Connor Hellebuck, you got to give it to him. 4-2-0 with a .943 save percentage and 1.78 goals against average. Bishop came in for some reason, faced 19 shots, let in 3 goals. Hopefully won't have to turn to him, but Hellebuck, he has performed well enough to definitely get the start for round number 2, which we will be playing up against the Colorado Avalanche. Wow, if you thought last series was going to be tough, the Avalanche 57-22-3 in the regular season. I think that was enough to win the President's Trophy. My goodness, 117 points. They won the President's Trophy, tied in points with the Lightning. We took out the Hawks, who were the 3rd best team in the league. Now we're facing the best team in the league, the most winningest team in the league. That is not going to be easy. Let's check out the Avalanche lines. Okay, here we go. Gabe Landeskog at an 88, Nate McKinnon at a 94, and Mikko Rantanen, captain of the Honolulu Huskies, at a 92. 8 points in 7 games for him. McKinnon 12-7. Landeskog 11-7. Jost, Newhook, Arvidsson. That's a deadly pair. That is a deadly second line as well. Newhook 3 goals, 8 assists. Jost 5-4. Yikes. Krejci 4 assists at the age of 38. Donato, former Minnesota Wild. Ryan Hartman, another former Minnesota Wild. Nyquist, Bowers, and Bailey. That is a fantastic forward core. Look at the 82s on the 4th line. They have us beat for the forwards for sure, especially I can't see their chemistry, but maybe we have them beat on the 2nd line, but that 1st line is just bonkers, just bananas. Defense, very, very good as well. Byron Makar, Timmins, Girard, Graves, and Merrill. Wow. Cale Makar, 13 points in 7 games. Samuel Girard with 3 and 7. And then between the pipes, it is Jussi Saros. Right, Jussi Saros, who we thought was going to win the Vezina, who likely will win the Vezina, going 46, 15, and 3. Plus the 9 shutouts, 924 save percentage, 2.12 goals against average. Yeah, it's a Vezina season for him. Although his playoff stats are not great right now, he has an 859 save percentage. He looks okay. He was looking shaky. Okay, we can work with that. Backed up by Copley and great depth. Look at that, 381 overalls as depth. All right, it is not going to be easy against the Colorado Avalanche, but we are primed and ready to go. The 4th line has to wake up ASAP. Rossi's got to wake up as well a little bit. The 2nd line's been good. The 3rd line's been pretty solid. Defense has been good, and Hellebuck has been playing very well. Keep it up. Don't stop doing anything you're doing, but let's just, let's increase it by 15% or so. And over the other series in the West, Oilers, and Coyotes. in Denver, Colorado, Game 1, Round 2. Let's hit it. First period, 2-2. Mikko Rantanen comes out swinging, but then Brad Lambert and Leon Botter 9 seconds later. Wow, rare goal from Leon Botter. And then Gabe Landeskog tied it back up with 4 minutes to go. 3 of the first 4 goals there scored within the first 6 minutes. Second period, 3-2. Kaprizov with a late goal with 20 seconds left. Whoo! Up by 1 heading into the third, despite being outshot by 4. But then Tyson Jost, 56 seconds into the period, ties it up at 3. So that was very short-lived. All right, power play Colorado. Let's kill it off and get back in the driver's seat here. Second, third line. Where are you, boys? Second, third line. We're being outshot 33. There he is, Torrey Krug. We didn't call him out this game, but called him out a few games ago. Puts us up. Is that enough of a lead to get us to the end of this game? And it is. Torrey Krug, the reigning Norris Trophy champion, recipient, whatever you want to call him, gives us the game-winning goal, and we win 4-3, despite being outshot 35-28. Goal and 2 assists from Torrey Krug, the 90 overall with a +3 on chemistry, 93 overall. What a beast. 7 points in 7 games, exactly what we needed from that big boy on the blue line. Lightning and Senators, by the way, and then Islanders and Caps in the Eastern Conference. That is a huge Game 1 victory. It was a tight one, only 4-3, as the third period was a bit more defensive than the others. But let's keep our pedal to the metal, and let's hit it. First period, 2-1 Colorado. Krejci and Newhook scoring for the Avalanche. But of course, as always, it is Kirill Kaprizov giving us life. Second period, 4-1. Yikes. So McKinnon and Jost. See, the Avalanche are always going to keep scoring, but we have to keep matching them. And the second we don't match them, we start to fall. And that's how we gotten ourselves into a 3-goal deficit heading into the third period. Despite outshooting Colorado 24-15, we're going to need something fast. Jordan Greenway? Is that you? Do I hear you call? No, sorry, that was Victor Arvidsson, a different right winger. 4-on-3 power play? Question mark? 5-on-4 power play? Wow, look at all this power play time. What is going on? One of the best power plays in the NHL. Back-to-back power. Look at this. They took 4 penalties in 4 minutes. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Phil Kessel. There, Phil Kessel scores with a minute left. And we lose 5-2. Phil Kessel's first playoff goal as a Minnesota Wild. That was unacceptable. We're making some changes on the power play. All right, I think the best thing we can do right now is that I'm going to go ahead and put swap Wheeler and Greenway, and that'll give a +3 to the second unit, as well as maintaining the +3 to the first unit. Gives the Wheeler a little less ice time, and he's playing well, but I think that'll help the rest of the second unit. Hopefully. So I'm not going to touch the first unit aside from just the Greenway swap, I guess, as well. And we'll roll like that. Really disappointing that the power play couldn't come through when we needed the most and the opportunity presented itself. But headed into Game 3, it's now a best-of-5 as the series is tied at 1. We're back on home ice at the XL Energy Center in Minnesota. Let's hit it. First period, quick goal from Timmins, but then Matthew Boldy comes back later in the period, despite letting in a goal within 24 seconds. Second period, 3-1, Bowen Byram and Nate McKinnon. Down by 2, being outshot 18-16 here in the third period. Matthew Boldy, all right, putting us back in the race here. 3-2, down by 1, we have life. It's only Boldy and Kaprizov who seem to have a passion right now. Extended 5-on-4. We kill off a 4-minute 5. Then we give them a 5-on-3. Okay. If they had scored in the power play, someone was getting benched. But then they scored nonetheless. Power play for us. Anyone going to score for us? No. Why would they? And 4-2. The radio shows were calling for the coach's head after no power play goals. And it's another game of no power play goals. Who's taking these penalties? Fiala, Pesce, and Kopitar. Okay, Pesce, Kopitar, something's happening. It was a double minor, that's why. But Kopitar and Pesce, something's happening. Their plus-minus hasn't been good. They've been atrocious, actually. And we're going to have to make a change. So if Kopitar comes out, we do have Mason Shaw as our depth here. It gives us a 0. He didn't have a great regular season. He had 5 goals, 17 assists, 12 points, -6. Hopefully just being in the playoffs, being a higher overall, 99 discipline. Hopefully that'll just do something for this fourth line. Parise was a -3. Kessel, -2. Kopitar was a -4, I think. -4 with 2 assists. Yeah, we're taking him out. Defense, Brett Pesce is a -4. It was his first penalty, but he's a -4. And Ryan Suter also a -4. That's very questionable. We could swap back to the original pairings here. Sorry, Pesci with Tarky, maybe? And you know what? I think we will do that. We'll try back to Sergachev. I know Tarky and Sergachev have been ripping it up, but we need to give some support to the third pair that's been just getting demolished. Hellebuyck's been playing all right. No more changes to make there. If Kopitar comes out of the lineup, that means penalty kill unit number 2 needs someone. I don't think we can really trust Shaw to be there, unfortunately. Pretty much between Lambert or Kovanov, and Lambert has the better defensive stats, so we'll go with Brad Lambert as the second penalty kill unit centerman right there. So hopefully those changes do something. Heading into game number 4 now. Down 2-1, and we cannot afford to go down 3-1 and have to win 3 in a row against a very strong Colorado team. So let's do it. We're still at home, in front of the home fans. A few changes. A little wake-up call with Kopitar getting the healthy scratch. A little change to penalty kill. Hopefully the power play can wake up. First period, 0-0. Being outshot by double, 14-7. Hellebuyck standing strong. Second period, 1-1. Nate McKinnon opens up the scoring, and then Matthew Boldy seems to be the only guy who knows how to shoot a puck. Gets us tied up here. So being outshot 25-14. 1-1 game heading in the third period. This is a huge 20 minutes. Huge. I want to see someone come through. Whoever has passion, come through and show me. Power play's killed off. We took another penalty. Thankfully, we killed off the Avalanche power play. Whoever has passion, stand up and score a goal. Newhook scores from a terrible angle. Power play! Finally! Phil the thrill! He has passion, and so does Matthew Boldy. Yes! Yes! Phil Kessel has passion. Hashtag Kessel has passion. Get that trending. 3-2 victory. We get outshot 35-24. 2 goals with under 5 minutes to go. Oh, wait. Whoa. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. What's going on? So, look at the board on the right here. Where were these goals from? If either Newhook scored from across the ice. Someone scored from across the ice here. So does the gray, crimson, burgundy mean that is the Avalanche zone? So if that's true, then that means that Boldy scored from in the offensive zone, but then that means that Kessel scored from behind our own blue line, and Newhook scored from the opposite goal line. Or it means that Boldy scored from the opposite goal line, Kessel scored in the offensive zone, and then Newhook scored from the opposite goal line? That's a wild third period. I don't know what's going on, but Matthew Boldy knows how to put the puck in the net. Phil Kessel has passion, and we take it a 3-2 win at the final. Boldy 2 goals, Hellebuyck 33 assists, 33 saves, and Blake Wheeler gets 2 assists for the third star. My head is still buzzing after those goals. I don't know how those happened, but just like that, this series is tied at 2 and is a best of 3 back in Colorado for game number 5. Let's keep up the momentum. Let's do it. First period, 3-1. Blake Wheeler opens it up with a power play goal on that second unit, but then Gerard Donato shorthanded, and then Mikko Rantanen scoring 3 unanswered in about 10-ish minutes there. Yikes. Second period, okay, 3-2. Mika Tarky gets us back in it. Shots tied at 19, and we're down by 1. Here in the third, Tyson Jost quickly reestablishes the 2-goal lead. Come on. Phil had passion, but we can't all just be Phil and Boldy here. And even Kaprizov. Power play, who's got it? No one. We've been terrible on the power play. Even with the +3/+3, we have to rethink the units. Newhook. 3-goal lead, and that's going to be it. As we're down 3-2 in the series, Donato empty netter. We drop 6-2. Come on. Joseph goal and 2 assists, 2 from Donato. Saros makes 31 saves. Not like this. Not another 6-game exit. Not another round 2 game 6 exit. Oilers are through to the conference finals. Other 2 series in the East are still going. Man, we got to make some changes here. All right, so the first line has been struggling. Kaprizov has 6 goals, great, but a -3. That speaks to the bigger problem here, that Marco Rossi has not scored this entire second round. He has 3 points and a -3 in 11 games. Greenway, 1 goal, 4 assists. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't really have a first-line center, but Brad Lambert, congratulations. You're getting promoted to the first line. Can we put anyone to get no +5s, eh? Because Costin and no. Even though we have 3 power forwards, none of them fit the first line well enough. to give it a +5. Well, maybe they do, but I think Kaprizov doesn't fit the first line well enough as a sniper. Either way, we can go Greenway for the +3 or Wheeler or Kostin for the +1. Wheeler's been a monster. Congratulations, you've earned your time on the first line. Rossi, Boldy, and Greenway can be the second line, or even Fiala, but I don't think that would work. You'd get a 0 if we did that. All right, Boldy top line with the +3. Kaprizov second line with Rossi and Greenway. Fiala stays third line with Kovanov and Kostin. Kostin, 1 goal, 4 assists. Okay, that's how we can do that. Fourth line stays the same. Plus minus has been all right. Defense 0 and +2, -2, -7. Come on, Brett. 83 overall defensive defenseman. I'm paying you $4.2 million. -7 when the time comes in the playoffs that I need you. All right, Ryan Suter and Cody Ceci here in Game 6. There we go. Ryan Suter and Cody Ceci. Tarky back to the second pair with Sergachev. And Botter, you need to wake up. Goaltending, Hellebuyck stays the same. For special teams, we want to touch anything on the power play. Boldy can go on his off wing here. Lambert go to the first unit. Whatever. Let's just do that. It's our last hope here. Game 6, round 2. We need a win at home to push it to 7. We made some changes. We're on our last dying breaths. Not another second round exit. Not like this. Show me who has passion. Don't tell me only 3 guys can score on this team and they're named Kirill Kaprizov, Matthew Boldy, and like sometimes Blake Wheeler. Come on, let's go. First period, wake up. Marco Rossi. Power play goal. His second playoff goal. Second goal of the entire playoffs. Welcome to the party, my man. Second period, 2-2. Rantanen on the power play. Klim Kostin to restore the 1-goal lead. And then Nate McKinnon ties it back up. Shots 24-19. 2-2, and Alex Kovanov, his first career playoff goal, could not come at a better time. And then Jordan Greenway. Finally, the people who got mixed around are getting it done. Kovanov's first goal with the third line staying the same, actually, but Greenway on the second line, giving us the 2-goal lead. Is that enough to push it to Game 7? Is Brad Lambert that #1 center that we need here in the playoffs? Fiala adds the empty netter, and we'll see you in Game 7. So I guess, so if it's the green side, I guess that means just a Minnesota goal. So that means that the what am I talking about? The lines behind the net tell you what side is which. So let me go back and look at which side was which in the Marco Ross in the Matthew Boldy goal. All right, so Newhook, he did score from his own end, and then Boldy said, whatever you can do, I can do better. I'm gonna go even further back to my own goal line, and I'll get the game-winning goal from here. So I'll definitely put a note on that in the video, but in real time, I finally just realized that. So, hey, 5-2 the final. Kovanov's goal coming from behind the blue line, and that is just exactly what we needed. 5-2 the final. Shots were 35-26. Big third period. Fiala, goal and 2 assists. Rossi, a goal and an assist. Kostin, a goal and an assist. People waking up when called upon, and we're headed to game number 7 in Colorado. Man, it doesn't get more nerve-wracking than this. Lines are not being touched. It looks like things finally were working. With the second, essentially the second line became the first line, and the first line became the second line. That's pretty much what happened. And then there were some special team switches. Cody Ceci, of course, at a +1. Beautiful. And the defense fixes, special team fixes. So hopefully those are enough. We're going to hop right into Game 7 without further ado. Oh boy, showtime in Colorado. First period, 1-0, Mikko Rantanen late in the first. Okay, we're gonna watch this one. Come on, boys. We haven't been past the second round since we made it to the Stanley Cup and won it in year number 1. One last push for Parise and Suter. Do you guys want it? 40 years of age. Do you still want it? Do you have a desire to win? Power play killed off. That's what we like to see. No goals in the second period thus far as we're about to wrap it up, and it is a scoreless second period. We're being outshot 26-15. 1-0 Colorado heading into the third. Zach Parise, you've come here. You signed that massive contract. Suter, you signed that massive contract. It's your last year. It is your last year in Minnesota. Show the fans that you care. Show them what it's all meant, and go out there for what could be your final 20 minutes and leave it all on the ice. Give it your best no matter what. Third period, down by 1. Who has the passion to tie this game up? I'm looking at you, top 6 forwards. Ryan Graves makes it 2-0. 2-0 Colorado, slow it down. 2-0 Colorado. We'll hop in maybe with about 5 minutes to go. If there's nothing that happens before then. All right. Let's hop in. Down by 2. In Colorado, the 4th line is out. Beautiful. 5 minutes to go. That's exactly who we want playing. Oh, man. You know what? I don't usually do this, but I'm going to take control of the coach. Just lock on to the coach so I can control the lines here. So I can at least say that I want the first line playing. Not going to change the lines just yet because that would be a bad line change. As here we go. Ryan Donato the other way. Torrey Krug, who's he trying to deke? Donato, one-timer. Huge blocker save from Hellebuck. Here we come the other way. At least get it out of the zone before we make the change. Come on. No, please just get the puck out of the zone. Great breakup from Krug. Thank goodness. Get it out. Here we go. First line. Show me the first. Second defense pair. Here we go. Showtime. Here is, who is this? Kovanov, number 28? No, it's Wheeler. 20, he's not 26. Sergachev in front. Oh, huge glove save. Sergachev had the wide open net. Oh, great shot, but a better save. Byram just crunches whoever that was in the corner. 36, I'm not totally sure. Donato coming in again. One-timer broken up by Matthew Boldy. Here we go. I think, is it, and that's... First line still out. Lambert wins it to Sergachev. Okay. Gets that player off his back. Here's a chance. Wheeler. No, Saros just makes the save. Yeah, Lambert gets thrown to the wolves. In tight. But the glove of Saros is there. Man, a lot of scorers for the Avalanche. Keeping the first line out. I know the second line should probably come, but I just... the first line's been jiving. And that's you want your scorers out when you need them the most. Not just going by energy. Here's a chance. Oh, another save from Saros. McKinnon. Okay, keep it in the zone. Very nice. He has no... who has no stick? Someone has no stick. Landeskog leading the charge back the other way, though. With under a minute now. Probably we're going to think about pulling that goalie sooner if we can just get possession. McKinnon. One time was broken up. Stopped by Hellebuck. Come on. Get a whistle. Do something. Or we can just play in our zone the whole time. Time is wasting away. Okay, here we go. Second line's coming out. We're going to pull the goalie as well. Pull that goalie. There we go. First D pair is out. Pulled goalie. McKinnon. Let's just let them skate out, yeah? Let's just give them a nice escort out of their own zone. Let's not touch them either. And McKinnon shoots over the net. That's a godsend. We still have an opportunity here. Matthew Boldy over to Rossi. To Kaprizov. Someone put it on net. Glove save Saros again. And I think that's just going to be about it. So first line's going to come back out. We're going to go aggressive strategy. Take a timeout here. Do aggressive face-off and overload. No, crash the net strategy here. There he is. There's Van Ryn. Getting the boys excited there. Phil Kessel and Blake Wheeler on the bench with those beards. With 10 seconds to go, though, even one goal would be asking for a lot. Brad Lambert wins the face-off. Do something! No, just get poke check. Don't, yeah, and then get held on the board. Don't do anything. Why would he want to do anything? And we get shut out in Game 7, and it's another round. Yeah, with 0.1 seconds left. Great job. Yeah, that's nice. With 0.1 seconds left. Another second round exit for the Minnesota Wild. You know, it was against a super strong team. You can't say much. It was against a very, very strong team. We pushed them all the way to 7, but Yusei Saros stood tall. I was hoping that we'd be able to break through to him. We did at times, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Is Krejci the captain of the Avalanche? I saw him leading the charge there. No, Landeskog, yeah, of course, as it should be. And that could be the final performance that we ever see from Ryan Suter and Zach Parise. Saros, Hellebuck shaking hands. Fans are just sitting down. They couldn't care less about what just happened. We got shot 36-29 and dropped it 2-0. Man, Game 7. Hate to see it. A lot of players did not show up. Usually there's some, like, okay, this guy got injured, the goalie wasn't great, but these guys were really scoring. No, so many players just did not show up, period. Wheeler, Boldy, Fiala, all showed up. On the third line, and I know there was a recommendation that we should move Fiala up if he was playing really well, but points on the third line, he was playing very well with Kostin, who had 7 points as well, so... There's something to be said about chemistry as well, and not just like the +1, +3 chemistry, but like your teammate chemistry. So Fiala getting 10 points in 13 games on the third line. I don't think putting him on the first line would have scored 18 points in 13 games. You know what I mean? So I don't second guess that decision. The guys who needed to come through were the big boys up here, or should I say down here. Marco Rossi, 5 points in 13 games. All the way down here, let's see. Parise, 1 assist in 13 games. And, oh, well, he's a fourth liner. You shouldn't expect much from him. Well, he played the last 2 seasons in the fourth line. Last season, 63 points on third/fourth line. And then this season, I know he's slowing down, 26 and 63. But come on. Kopitar 2. Even Mason Shaw had as many points as Kopitar and a better plus-minus in 4 games. In 5 less games. Kovanov did all right, but it was Rossi and Greenway and Kaprizov. Like, they did okay. 6 goals is fine, but 6 points, and 5 points for my top forwards through 13 games. I needed more. Bad plus-minuses as well. -4s from Sergachev, Kaprizov. The goaltending, Connor Hellebuyck, he was 7-6, 911 save percentage, 2.81 goals against. I don't know why Bishop kept coming in. Some sort of glitch that they think the goalie's injured or that he is injured, but it's a playable injury and he's back the next game. Whatever. Just so many guys that didn't show up. Plus, at least Kostin, Tarky, Botter, Boldy, Fiala. This they ended up being evens. But Pesci, -7 in 7 games. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Too many negatives. Man. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and update the scouting, and we're going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the playoffs. We're going to see all the awards, Stanley Cup champions, look at some draft gems, look at the player growth, look at potential contract expirations, all that good stuff to end off the season, and I'll be back in just a second. So down in Iowa, of course, we lost in Game 7 of the second round after losing only 11 games regulation all season long with 57 wins. Over in the NHL, it is Colorado and Washington in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Who will take the Stanley Cup? It is the Washington Capitals. Wow. So the Avalanche beat us out only to make it to Game 7 and lose themselves. You hate to see it if you're an Avalanche fan. But another Stanley Cup for the Washington Capitals. That is now, well, another one. It's 2025 over here. But it ended up being a 5-game series for the Avalanche against the Oilers. The Capitals themselves went 6-6-7-7 through their road to the Stanley Cup, and they get another one, as we'll now check out the awards for the 2024-25 season. Okay, so actually the Capitals did win a Stanley Cup, so it is another one here in the simulation. They won in 22-23 and now in 24-25, so hats off to them. President's Trophy to the Avalanche. It was Avalanche and Capitals in the finals. Individual awards here, we're hoping for maybe the James Norris to Torrey Krug. Mark Scheifele wins the Art Ross. Pierre-Luc Dubois wins the Hart Memorial. James Norris goes to Cale Makar. Very understandable. It was a tight one between him and Krug. Lady Byng to McKinnon for the 3rd consecutive season and 4th time in the last 5. Calder goes to Ty Dellandrea. Conn Smythe to Victor Olofsson. Vezina to Jussi Saros, of course, as well as the Jennings. Masterton goes to this guy. Jack Adams to the coach of the Blues. Ryan O'Reilly wins the Ryan O'Reilly Award after losing the last 2, now that he's on the Panthers. Ted Lindsay to Pierre-Luc Dubois, and the Maurice Richard goes to Nate McKinnon as well. Okay, down in the AHL though, Damien Giroux won the equivalency of the equivalent of the Art Ross and the Hart. Any other awards? Holloway won the equivalent of the James Norris, Hollowell. Any others? And then Giroux also won the equivalent of the Bill Masterton, and then Morozov wins the equivalent of the Jennings. Interesting. All right, not a bad year for the hardware either down in Iowa, even though we got shamed in the playoffs. So now what we're looking forward to is seeing the draft lottery and the retirements. I'm not sure which one comes first, but we're about to see. Salary cap up to $96.42 million. We have the Predators pick, and we drop to 5. All right, so still a top 5 pick. That's great. But we dropped from 4 to 5. Rangers go 2-1, Sharks 3-2, Kings 6-3, and then the Flames dropping 1-4. That's brutal, but we only dropped from 4 to 5. Not bad. Easily could have dropped to 7 or something with some sort of voodoo. But I will take the 5th overall pick, no problem, especially when it was essentially free from the Predators, when all we had to do was swap our firsts in the Brad Lambert deal. So the 5th overall pick will be ours. Player retirement now. If Ryan Suter and/or Zach Parise do not retire, they have their contracts are up. We could bring them back cheap, or we let them go. I think it'll be time for them to go. They just collected a lot of cash. They got a Stanley Cup with Minnesota. They're both 40 years old, moving over to 41 next season. Do they call it a career in 2025? Ryan Suter does, and Zach Parise does not. Wow. And also Phil Kessel. Even look at that. Phil Kessel also calls it a career at the age of 37. 1,093 points in 1,469 games. I'm sorry you couldn't get to another cup, Phil. Shea Weber goes out at 39. Ryan Suter at the age of 40. Our captain. Oh, captain, our captain. We'll have to check the record book after this one, but he goes out with 1,552 games played, 134 goals, 626 assists, and 760 points, plus 167. He was listed as a defensive defenseman, but he was able to get those points. 61 points in 151 games, and on our road to the Stanley Cup, he scored 16 in 24. Since then, he was always solid, but never made it back. Always, we make it those last 3 postseasons in a row have been 13 games. We can't get beyond that game number 13. Unlucky number 13. Ryan Suter, thank you for everything you've done for Minnesota. We will miss you, and it's going to be a tough void to fill. Hopefully, maybe he becomes a coach or a scout. We could hire him, but it has been an absolute honor, Ryan. We also got JVR, Bobby Ryan, Giordano, Okposo, a lot of other retirements. Then Mathieu Perreault. Over in the goalies, any big retirements there? Tuukka Rask at 38 years old goes out. 419, 263, and 85. Corey Crawford, Halak Elliott, Grice, Bernier. So definitely some recognizable names now as it starts to be players who are actually retiring and not just like players who are in free agency like Marian Hossa. But a 917 save percentage and 2.41 goals against for Rask. Quite a career for him. Funnily enough, despite a very extensive career with the Minnesota Wild, Ryan Suter does not hold any all-time records. He played 1,010 games with the Minnesota Wild out of his over 1,500, so he was 18 games off of tying Mikko Koivu's record. He wasn't really close in any other records that the Mikko Koivu holds, and if this is the end for Zach Parise, he would go out from Minnesota as the all-time goal scorer with 295. As we are about to get to the draft now. So Zach Parise not retiring is something we have to consider. Do we bring... no, only Giordano is a coach. Ryan Suter is not a coach. But Phil Kessel is a scout. We could hire Phil Kessel as a scout. We'll have to look at that on July 1st. Draft interviews, pro scout, blah, blah, blah. And here we are at the draft. So pending expiring contracts here, with a lot of those contracts off the books, we have a ton of money and not a lot of money to spend not a lot of places to spend it on. So we will have $29 million. Blake Wheeler, he's gone up to an 85 overall, but he dropped to an 82 last time we signed him. He would, he doesn't want to re-sign either. Blake Wheeler's out. Mason Shaw, we can do Shaw, Comtois, Kaut, Bemstrom, Kopitar's out, Bittenhall. We can take all these. This would cost like $2-3 million, no problem. We're gonna have $26 million to throw around. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a lot of money. Hold on, where's Parise? There he is. Okay, thank goodness. I thought he was gone. I must have been looking in the wrong place. Maybe I even passed him. But he's down to a 77 overall with AHL top 6 potential. Do we sign him out of an obligation to him? No chance he's going to get $2.1 million, so I'm not worried about the price tag. Do we sign him to like a two-way deal or something when he goes to free agency? Do we bother signing him as forward depth, or do we just say, salut la visite, it's been nice? Aside from that, we have our unsigned prospects who will have to get signed, like we have Korea, Sjogren, maybe Dalcol, Drake, maybe put them in the AHL. We're not sure about that yet. Goaltending-wise, we can still hang on to Connor Hellebuyck. He's up to an 89 overall. Ben Bishop will be gone, though, so maybe we get a really good backup instead of Hunter Jones, but I'm sure that Morozov will be able... Yeah, Morozov can be our NHL backup next season. He'll grow a little bit more. AHL will sign Kozevnikov to play with Wallstedt. Something like that. So really, I don't know where we'll spend our money because we have our top... We pretty much just need to replace Wheeler, maybe? Like, if we look at our forwards. So Boldy at an 89 with Kaprizov 89, Rossi, Fiala, Greenway, and then Lambert up to an 84 with low franchise potential. Woo! Brad Lambert, let's go. That's the top 6 right there. Greenway, Kostin, and Kovanov can be the third line. And then fourth line, Kovanov to an 83. Fourth line can be Shaw, Comtois, and Kaut. There's the lineup right there. So we really don't have much to do. Like, I don't know, maybe we want a better fourth line center. Mason Shaw doesn't really fit the fourth line, but it's hard to find line fits in free agency. You're taking a bit of a gamble on the line fit. And maybe on defense, so we have Krug, Botter. Hopefully Botter grows. Maybe Botter's someone we move. We've been talking about that. Sergachev, Tarky on the second pair. Maybe the third pair we get somebody else. We move Brett Pesce out, and we make the third pair Ellington and Korea. But again, if we have 27 million to play with, what are we gonna do? And like, you know, in a couple of years we have to sign Tarka, we gotta sign Lambert, we gotta, but still, we could do some big moves on maybe short-term-ish kind of deals. Like if we look at the season after this one, we have to sign Sergachev, Lambert, Kovanov, that's it. The season after that, we need to sign Kostin, maybe, Fiala, Pesce, no, Boldy, Krug, but these are not going to be huge increases. Like, let's say Boldy, even if he wants like 10 million, taking 4 million of an increase out of that 26, 27 million is not the end of the world. Krug, if he wants 10 million, if Kaprizov wants 10 million, we could give all these guys huge raises and still have a lot of money left over. Tarky, Ellington, Greenway signed to that long-term cheap contract. So is Botter. So is Rossi. Well, he has one more year on that 7 million than everybody else. So that's something to consider. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments and in the Discord server. These are the potentially pending free agents, but it's really tough to tell because a lot of them are just going to get signed up. Most of these guys do not make it to unrestricted free agency. Even goaltending here, yeah, a lot of these guys don't make it to free agency, so I wouldn't be too reliant on that list. Looking at the draft class here, so we have the 5th overall selection. Who do we want to go after? Dropping to us at 5th will likely be Lasse Vallin from the SHL, a Finnish defenseman, two-way defenseman, playing in an A+ league. He is NHL ready and similar to Victor Hedman at the age of 17. Wow, that's crazy. But we just have so many defense in the system. Shutdown ability, heavy slap shot, great puck mover. I don't know. Should we use the 5th overall pick to move up? Maybe try and get Marcus Magnuson, who is a playmaker similar to Patrick Kane, or possibly Murray Ludman, who's also a playmaker similar to Sean Monahan. They're both winger playmakers. Interesting. And then if we go further down, a lot of other great potential. We don't have another pick till the 3rd round after this, so we'd have to trade up to get any of these guys who are top 6 forwards, stuff like that. If anyone really catches your eye, let me know, and you can ask me to send you a picture in the Discord server of their attributes and their ETA and stuff like that. Always in the 2nd round, there's a few of these gems, top 6 forwards, top 4 Ds. Maybe not literal gems, but just good late picks. Top 6 forwards. This is around our next area of our next pick. Top 6. Not a crazy draft class, it seems like. I don't see any gems at all. Sorting by purely just by potential. There's a medium elite two-way forward at 94. Oh, look at this. We got Camden Hextall, medium elite, and then Wyatt Cross, also medium elite. So that's 2 prospects. Those are 2 prospects we'll definitely go and target. Then there's a few other guys. Then it's 2 bars medium elite. Not really a guarantee. Even low elite. Maybe this, I don't know, the scouts, it's more these late guys. It's like the scouts did well, but there just wasn't much to see, so I can't really blame them. A lot of medium top 6s in the draft, yeah. Goalies, sorry to keep this going, but just to make sure it's a comprehensive look at everyone who's available. Not a lot of goalies out there, so nothing crazy. So it's really just that top pick, because after that we can get whoever's best, but we really want to be targeting who are we going after when it comes to a top, with our 5th overall pick. Maybe we could use the 5th overall pick and Brett Pesce to move up, or we move down and get something else, because there are other prospects. Are there other prospects who are NHL ready? No, it looks like anyone else that we would move down to get would be, except for this guy, Guy Castonguay, who I don't want to draft a defenseman. I wouldn't move down from getting Lasse Vallin to get another defenseman. Everyone else is NHL ready, which is really nice in the top 5. Which means they're like at least like a 74, 75, 76 plus overall. And at the age of 17, that's so hard to resist. So last but not least, looking over at the progress reports here, like we said, Lambert 84, Kovanov 83, Boldy 89, Fiala 86. Kopitar's dropped, we're going to let him go. Ellington at an 80, Krug at a 90, Wheeler 85. Yeah, so a lot of this growth we've already seen. Kostin 89, Hellebuck 89. Rossi has not moved, neither has Botter yet, but we'll wait to see after there will likely be growth after the offseason. In the system here, Sjogren has grown to a 76. He had a good year over in the SHL, 17 points in 49 games. Not bad, as he was in the 64, I think, to start the season. Teemu Pillman with elite potential, Stanton elite potential, Morozov 79. Hollowell had a great campaign down in Iowa. Norlander, Wallstedt, Montgomery, Braylon Montgomery. He had 36 points in 68 games with the Barrie Colts down in the OHL, up to a 65 overall from a 55, I think. Cade Domingue, wow, good season from him, 63 points, 67 overall. Lefebvre, 69. Drake, 69. 63 for Lefebvre. Korea hasn't budged. Down in the OHL, 63 points in 67 games. And then Kozevnikov over in the KHL, 21, 11, and 2 with okay numbers, I guess, for a 73 overall in the KHL. No one really to look at aside from that. So that is it, my friends. The last dance for Suter and Parise and Kessel. We couldn't get it. We're likely just going to let Wheeler and Kopitar and Bishop all walk. What do we do in free agency when it comes and our own contracts in terms of re-sign? What should we go after? Should we keep like 20 million of cap space stashed, even though we could do a 1 or 2 year big contract? Maybe a big defenseman, big defensive defenseman instead of Botter. A lot of trade possibilities with a lot of different players that we could be looking at. If you want to look at the trade value of our players, this is how they're looking. Brad Lambert killing it out there. So yeah, these are all the trade values. Kovanov has grown. Rodin could be growing and make the lineup perhaps. Man, yeah, there's a lot of question marks. And then goalies, of course, they never have any value. Hellebuyck actually has grown. It used to be less than Morozov, but now somehow it's jumped up. And draft picks, we have the 5th overall pick selection right there. So there are a lot of different things that we can do. I look forward to hearing all your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. It was a fun run, but a tough, heartbreaking Game 7 end to a very strong team. Well, a lot of the core will be coming back, but let's just get a little bit stronger, and it'll be that much sweeter when we go on a nice run in the future, hopefully in year number 6. I look forward to hearing all your thoughts that will help to mold this team in the YouTube comments down below, as well as the Discord server, link in the description if you want to join there. And like I said, if you have any other questions or things I can clarify, I can send pictures and reply to you there. So once again, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for rooting for the Wild. We're not done yet. We're going to come back stronger. And I will see you in the next one.